And good morning. This is Saga Live morning routine, day 35. Coming at you from the studio towards the end of April. "2020 is quite the year, isn't it? We had a January that went end. We had a February that we can't remember. And we have a March that will forever be seared into our memories. April's been pretty good, though. I mean, for what it is. This is going to be one of those kind of uncomfortable mornings for me, so we're going to just try and get through this together. Let's see who's coming in. Diary of a Madman. Adriano says, "Almost there, Dylan. 5 more days and you will be free to wake up by noon." I appreciate the sentiment. That will not be what I will be doing. And that's purely because that's my own bag. That has nothing to do with any judgment that I would have on anyone else, necessarily. But I will probably still be trying to wake up at least by 8 a.m. It takes me a long time to kind of get going in the morning. It takes me a long time to get my head together. That's part of why I need my morning routine. It's not about early to bed, early to rise, etc., etc. It's really just, if I don't get up 3 or 4 hours earlier, I'm just not going to get anything done that day. But I appreciate the sentiment. And when the 40 days are up, you are more than welcome to wake up at noon your time and do your thing at your pace. I mean, you're welcome to do that now, but let's see here. Good morning, friends. Yes, good morning, friends. So I still do the show on some of the not so great mornings for myself, but I might not push you guys to share it. Mostly just because, it's an everyday thing. Sometimes your energy is, and sometimes your energy is. And if I was expected to be on fire every single morning, it'd probably have to be drug-induced. But, more to the point, what I know and what I've learned is that typically, it might not be an everyday thing, but typically, doing this at least raises my spirits right around when I'm doing it. So let's do our best. Let's get through this. And for those of you that join me very intimately every morning to just kind of be in that close-knit circle of friends that we've created here, thank you for showing up. I am definitely grateful for you today. See what I did there? Grateful for the people who show up. And just as a reminder, today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. And this is morning routine day number 35. We got to check off yesterday's 34. Other things I am grateful for. I had a friend get in touch with me this morning. She's a nurse in Pennsylvania. And she's having a rough time because being a nurse in Pennsylvania right now is not easy. So I'm definitely grateful for anybody out there that's working in the medical field, who's doing their damnedest every day to help those that are being afflicted or inflicted, or, the thing that she wanted to vent about to me was that she wasn't being given the opportunity to use every possible measure to save someone's life. It wasn't about the restrictions they were putting on her. It wasn't about cutting her wages or cutting her hours. It wasn't about anything selfish. It was, you're making it harder for me to help other people. And that's what's really interesting about the people that choose to get into that field. So I think I definitely want to be grateful for them today. And I think it's very long overdue that I'm on day 35 and I haven't really shown appreciation for those that are in the medical field right now. So if any of you are out there, or if any of you have relatives or friends that are out there, please let them know that this show is us trying to keep our heads together and do our thing, but we realize that the people out there that are serving on what is more or less colloquially referred to as the front line, we realize that they're the people that are really putting everything on the line for themselves and for others every day, and that we appreciate that. I'm grateful for nurses and medical staff who also show up. And let's see here. Finally. Oh, I had something for this and I totally forgot. I'm going to say I'm grateful for technology, because without this little box here and that little microphone there and this little rectangle here, I wouldn't be able to see any of y'all, and maybe I'd have something better to do with my time. But honestly, I really like doing this, so I'm grateful for the technology that allows me to do what we do. Today's affirmation, I need to think about one that I'm really going to try and chant to myself all day long. Maybe something along the lines of, maybe like, something simple like, I got this, we got this. Let's just go with that. Maybe we'll try and chant that out throughout the workout. I got this, we got this. Sometimes keeping it simple is the best solution. Good morning, everybody who's in the group. Do not despair. I am somewhat alive. Rumors of my blah, blah, blah have been greatly exaggerated. Okay. Wow, we've got quite a few people in here. Let's get moving on that top-down check-in and flow. Put my jazz up just a bit. It's very somber jazz today. Okie dokie. Let's get that head and neck moving. So I woke up very physically stiff this morning. And as you can tell, maybe emotionally as well. Everybody's got those wrong side of the bed days. I am no exception, as you've all witnessed multiple times now. And I think some of that is going to be kind of a theme for today, because I've been trying to think of a good community question, and the only one that I can come up with is going to end up being not necessarily the biggest, brightest, shiniest, most positivist question ever, but we'll get to it when we get to it. I can certainly tell you though, having done this top-down check-in and flow every morning-ish for the last 35, 40 days, it definitely is probably one of the most important things I do every morning. Because if I don't do something like this, I feel like I'm made out of gravel or something. You know, so this has definitely been of the benefit to do. This is a nice full body warm up from the top to the bottom. Going to the chest, the waist. And back the other way. Got some more friends in here today. It's good to see some of them. Okay. Into the knees. Actually, I gotta go back and do the hips. That's why we do it top down, so we don't forget a piece of the process. And back the other way. Oh yeah, see, I'm glad I didn't skip over that completely. I'm glad I backtracked because my hips really needed to do that. All right, little Spider-Man drops. Really, this is partially to help with squat depth, partially to help with like ankle flexibility. You can either, if you can, get to the heels, or if you want to play with it a little bit more bouncy, you can go into the balls of your feet. Okay. And then I'm going to get into my ankles, some calf raises. I'm going to push into the ground, squish that bug, stomp out that cigarette, whatever you got to think about. And just grind it out a bit. All right. So now we're going to go into those arm flows to kind of keep opening everything up. And then maybe I'll get back on the ground and do some ground flow stuff by the end of this. From kind of like a half horse stance, shift, arm comes up, bring it across. And let's really work on our breathing. Let's go the other way. And see, I've been looking at the video, and my right arm is so much stiffer than my left. Slow it down, pull with the shoulder. I'm just doing about 8 reps or 9 reps on each side. Probably just do everything in 9s, just since we do it like that already. Let's go with the ones that go over and around behind, stretch out through the chest and back a little bit. So the hand comes through, turns over, back behind, and serves. Over, back behind, and serves. And try and coordinate your breathing. See, and there's a rotational force, right? Because the weight of your hand drifts your body through and opens up more of the core. You can do this with weight if you really want to. But honestly, doing it empty-handed is probably the best way to build the sensitivity for yourself without the weight. And then you can keep speeding it up a bit. And then let's do the one with the punch. Come through, pull across and punch. Come through and punch. And see, when we do this one, we're doing that reverse punch from our intermediates. Now we're twisting the waist. So I could just brush through here and pull to here. I can brush through here and pull to here. Or I can go over. I can go over. Or I can go down. Or I can go down. If I go down, I can even turn into an uppercut. But we're just trying to get that chain ability going. And open up this feeling of the feet lead to the waist, lead to the hand. Or the hand leads to the feet, lead to the waist. Got a lot of options there to play with. Just focus on that shifting. Okay. We're going to, again, kind of blur this in with technique tutorial. We're going to go back to those leg moves that we were doing yesterday. And again, this is really to learn how to activate that chain in your body. So if we go from those little foot drags, in, up, out, and down. Just like stepping over a fence. Or trying to avoid all the Lego pieces. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go on the other side. Let's just do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, here's a big emphasis. A lot of what we've done is we've done stance work and we've done Tai Chi. So at this point, we're trying to integrate that kind of mindful breath and body coordinated movement into slightly more dynamic moves. So just keep that in mind. The end goal of this isn't necessarily to build a form, but it's to start developing a sense of integration. So again, if I want to do that side kick, I can take my foot, bring it up, bring it across, raise the knee, open out, place it down. Take this one, bring it up, across, raise the knee, extend, place it down. You can even drop into here and rise up. Get that little hop going if you want. Start smoothing it out into a big circular motion. So it's the same circle, right? It should feel like flying at a certain point. I'm flying, Jack! It's a weird way to talk. All right, and let's go into those hooking kicks. So it's easier in this case to put one foot forward. I'm going to raise up my rear leg. So I'm just going to rock back, rock forward, put this foot up, close the body, bring it back down. So a nice big loop-de-loop. It requires turning that rear foot. And if I really want to, I got to extend all the way out. So I got to take my hip past, I got to take the rear side of my hip past the front side of my hip. So if you notice that, it's here that the chain really starts moving. Get that extension, whip it back. Just like throwing a yo-yo and pulling it back. Let's go to the other side. And again, you can warm up nice and small. And then you can go a little bit bigger. And one more just for funsies. So now, play around. Come up with a way to combo this stuff. Whether it's up through the back, into the arm punch, into a hook kick. Now you can come up with things. So I big around and down and punch and kick. Big around and punch and kick. So it's all one big fluid progression. Trying to link it all together. And then you can start picking it apart and do it as slowly as you like. Except for maybe that hook kick, that part's a little hard. But if you can start doing it slow, you can go slow and you can pull up. So now I'm going to go to the other side. Let's see here. What was the technique? It was that to that to that. So over the head, block and punch, hook kick. Over the head, block and punch, hook kick. I have to go to full extension on each attack. Let's see if I can do this fast and make it look cool. Okay, and now let's see if I can do it slow and breathy, and we'll finish up with that today. I'm gonna slow down the leg a little bit more. Okay. So just a sense of building those chain flow combos. You know, that's kind of the goal that I wanted to bring up. Because I love Tai Chi and I love Kung Fu. But in my personal experience with my training, I pretty much would always have to just get the form perfect. That was part of training in the art. But if I'd go home and I'd play in the basement and I'd try and build something up, it'd be a lot more like that. It'd be like building these flow moves, trying to connect things, maybe looking a little bit crazy, but never losing that sense of movement, never getting stuck. And I look at myself in that video, and yeah, I mean, I don't hate what I'm doing there. I ain't mad. So that's going to be it for the technique tutorial for today. Like, just build up a flow. Take some of these techniques, whether it's the behind the back, which I don't really have a name for, or the circle to the punch, or just the whipping hand, and try and combine it with some of the kicks, whether that's the side kick or the hook kick, or you can do a crescent kick. But try and integrate this feeling of shifting flow back and forth. That's what I want to be able to give people out of this. Oh, hey Sakan. You jumped in again. Nice flow, bro. Thank you, Sakan. You know, for transparency, that's basically mixing what I've learned from Kung Fu and Tai Chi in with my Savate. So, I'm sure you can come up with way cooler stuff than me, dude. All right. Today's question of the day. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see Jules in here. Yeah, I really like the Matrix ones too, Wendy. They really warm up not just my shoulders, but man, they get to my lower back because I have to go over that point. It's very much a teapot tipping point. Pour me out. Not the coffee. We don't pour out the coffee. So question of the day. Didn't really have a good one this morning, but I figured that was kind of a great kind of inclination towards this idea that maybe, depending on how tasteful you can be about it, consider today a little bit of a vent sesh. What is driving you nuts? If it's me, and Abra decides to type that, it's totally okay. By the way, Abra's producing this morning, and she's doing an awesome job so far. Well, thanks. We all got off to a rocky start this morning. But no, seriously, glad that she's here. What is driving you nuts? Greatest fight scene of all time? That's a good question of the day. We'll talk about that one in a bit as well. You can answer what's driving you nuts, or you can answer greatest fight scene of all time.
Or both.
Or both. Or both. Now, again, just to remind everybody, we really want to go to those answers at the end of the video. We don't want to necessarily take up time during the workout to focus on that. But, if you get a free moment and you think of a great answer and you want to just type it out on the side, feel free to, and save it for when we're going to go into the answer session at the end of the day. In the meantime, it is time to get moving. Everybody loves the Abra. This is lovely. Okay. So what do we do after our technique tutorial, everybody? Oh, Abra, can you just pretend to be the audience and like yell back?
What do we do?
Yeah, but...
we do our planks.
Yeah! 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 Planks! Woo! Planks! Planks. Felt like a scene from Hot Rod for a second. We're gonna go into 40 seconds. Because why not? And again, today's planks are, for me at least, you can do whatever you want to at home, are going to be alternating between tabletop and maximal hold front plank. And I've learned recently that by laying on the ground, I can set my body up to the proper proportions and fire it away. Oh, dear Lord, my back needs this today. My nice, chill guitar, morning jazz guitar music makes me suffer in peace or something. Almost there. And down. Flipping over to the belly. Stretching out maybe for a second in between if you want. We're going to go into our maximal hold front plank or whatever works best for you. One note that I'll say is make sure that you're paying attention as you do these more days in a row. Start paying attention to different parts of your body. So if I'm like, yeah, I've got this hold good. Wait, my tailbone's going low. Start thinking about bringing it up if you need to. Or, you know, maybe I'm sitting back here. Maybe I want to activate my feet a bit more. Just try and pay attention to the different parts. And of course, squeeze the abs. Always squeeze those abs. Granted, it doesn't matter how many planks I do. If I don't start hitting a treadmill or punching a bag for 30 minutes a day, I ain't going to look shredded anytime soon. Spoiler alert, that's why I didn't release the first morning routine video, because my egotistical ass decided to do it shirtless on the roof. Because I wanted the sunlight, I wanted the vitamin D. And I looked at myself and I was like, I don't like how I look. And I know this is supposed to be like the positivity show and everything, but I gotta feel a little bit better about myself before I put that image out there. So, we will be getting a full morning routine cycle 1 instructional video at some point. But I gotta hit that treadmill or bag or the streets or something and start building up my cardio again.
Should do some of my workouts.
Nope! Not doing Abra's workouts. Nope. She's too tough. I'm too weak.
I have modifications.
She has modifications that terrify me. I mean, that brings up a really great point. You do your thing, I do my thing. But as always, do something. And if nothing is your thing, that's fine too. Just make sure you're aware of what you're trying to accomplish and what you might not care about. That's something that we all have to remind ourselves of too, right? Is like, if you don't look like a Marvel character in your everyday life, guess what? That's okay, because you probably didn't care to in the first place. You're only going to have that sort of disassociative identity kind of like clash mindset if you let somebody else's expectations of what you should look like or feel like override your own and kind of take you out of the reality of the situation that you put yourself in. You like eating cereal? Eat cereal. Sorry, eat effing cereal. I need to remind myself to bleep that one out. For the children who are eating the cereal. If that's your jam, if jam's your jam,
Jam on your cereal.
Put jam on your cereal. Yeah, Abra is way too hardcore. See, Sakan agrees with me. We're both martial arts teachers, and we're both like, no, we're good. We're good. Abra's like some freakish Dragon Ball Z character that just shows up. She played Android 18, so it makes sense. In a stage show.
It's not.
For like 10 people.
Playing talk is like drunk talk.
Playing talk is drunk talk. We'll do a plank and whiskey night sometime in the near future. How about that, everybody? We want to do planks and whiskey night. You don't have to drink whiskey. You can drink whatever you want.
If you want to drink whiskey,
it's encouraged. And everybody's favorite sound. I think plank and whiskey night is something we're going to have to do through a Zoom or something like that, though, because I am not doing that by myself to be the only person to be judged.
I mean, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but we all got to be on the cameras.
Well,
Abra is the final boss in a video game. Either that or she's like the main character.
All right, people.
Abra is officially taking over the morning routine show from behind the camera. I agree, Wendy. Okay. Whew, that felt pretty good. Let's get into that Kung Fu conditioning. So everybody's going to get a taste of what I try and do first thing in the morning. Oh boy. Kung Fu. Let's do some Kung Fu. How do I want to get up? I wonder if I can kip up yet. Nope.
But
my lower back is not there yet.
You willing to get up?
I think I'm just gonna stand up. Okay. Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion one of my vertebrae is kind of busted. Okay. Just waiting for the camera to catch up to know where I am.
It's there. We're there.
It's like not centered at all, Abra. The one thing I have to train Abra up on is this camera skills. That's good. That's good.
They're fine.
They're fine. They're fine.
Doing multiple things at once.
Yeah. So much. Actually, that's kind of fun watching the camera move on a live platform. That's not a usual thing.
That's true. We have to.
I know, we're wrapping it up. Hey, people are laughing. You know, this is edutainment. It's edutainment, Abra.
You're not drunk.
You can't. It was the first F-bomb dropped on the show, okay? This is day 35.
I'm surprised it wasn't me.
Yeah. Wow, really? You haven't?
I haven't. No, I haven't been about it. Six Flags training.
Oh, Six Flags. Well, we both have Six Flags training. So.
Mine's more recent.
Yours, hey, mine stuck with me. Yeah. And yours might too. All right, brush floors, everybody. Step out with your right foot, chest down to your thigh, fingers swing through, breathe out as the air goes out of your lungs, pull back, hands snap back, breathe in, fill the lungs. 20 times each side. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Step back, step forward to the other side. 20 on each side. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right? Sun fist push-ups. Vertically oriented push-ups close to the chest. Here we go. Lay down so you can stretch your body out all the way. Bring your arms close to your shoulders. Activate and come up. I'm going for 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eventually you want to do those slower. We're just trying to get through the video, so that's why I rushed through them a little bit. But you want to do the same kind of breath work for the push-ups that you would do for the other basics, if you can. That isn't the only way to do push-ups, but it's one way to do push-ups. Back to horizontal chi raises. Breathe in, feet shoot out, hands shoot out at the same time, and then your breath shoots out at the same time as that. Breathe in and come back up. We're going to do 20 of these total. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And just as a reminder, I breathe out and then I say the number so that I hold that bottom posture for that breakbeat pause, because the goal of these moves is to explode from a point to another point. And if you use that as athletic elastic bounce, you are kind of more doing a jumping jack. You're not getting, I'm down here, squeeze to get back up. You're kind of doing bounce with momentum to get back up. So I recommend at least holding for a moment. That's why you want to breathe out. Empty completely. Once you're emptied completely, breathe in to come back up. So just a little bit of advanced
note for that. We're gonna keep going, but I wanted to make that very clear. Ram's head push-ups. Horizontal fists at the rib cage, right around is the nips. Wherever your nips end up, I guess. Down to the ground. What?
No judgment.
No judgment. Try and keep your elbows tight to your rib cage. Activate the body. Come on up. Let's do 10 if you're ready to go. If you're not, do as many as you can or just hold this posture. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And again, try and keep the elbows as tight to the body as you can. Don't let them wing out for this one. Here, not here. Okay. Third Kung Fu basic, probably everybody's favorite one. Elbow to toe. I check step out, 45-degree angle. Hands come to chest. If you want to make like the little Kung Fu sort of posture, you absolutely can. And if you just want to, it's fine. Go down the body, stretch out the hamstring, come back up. And when you do it, breathe out on the way down. And then you can breathe at the top. So let's do 20 of these. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, you can even slow down the pace of those. It's all about how you rhythmically move with your breath with more intention. Chinese fist push-ups. Wide grip. Hands are vertical in this case, really focusing on the back, the rear of the arm, and the delts are going to be very much recruited for this one. Lower myself to the ground. Go wide out from the shoulder plane. Lift myself up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last of the 4 basics, vertical chi raise. Feet shoulder width and a half apart. Hands come up through the center line, make fists. Open up towards your face, kind of. And as you rise up, come up off of the heels. Squeeze the glutes like the top of a deadlift. And open up your chest. Not raise your shoulders, open up your chest. Elbows can kind of sink back a bit. From there, hands touch back to back. You drop through the center like the bottom of the deadlift. And you breathe out. And then you breathe in. Okay? Brief explanation for anybody that's new that's in here. And let's just get going. Whew, there's going to be a fun one. 20 of these. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I'm about to huck a loogie. 18, 19, 20. All right, last push-up. Crane's fist. Try, if you're going to do these, focus on squeezing the forearm. Don't just squeeze your fingers together. Squeeze that forearm, make that really secure. It's very similar to your grip strength. So focus on that packing so that it doesn't hurt your wrist as much. Make sure you're on a soft surface. I'm going to do this very briefly, but yes, God, this is going to suck.
Fun food.
I can do it on concrete. I just don't necessarily want to. And I don't recommend that until you're really comfortable with these. Like, you got to be able to get through 20 on a softer surface easy before you start taking them on the concrete. But once you can, yeah, like Abra was saying, Kung Fu. So, Crane's fists underneath your chest. Stretch out. Put them under however you need to. Pop up. These ones you probably need to settle down into more, but whatever. I'm going to go for 10, you go for whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. That is that. We did it.
Got some good comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities in my Kung Fu and Kai Silat. I've been doing these since I was about 17, but there's some connections, I think.
And Kai also did Kung Fu, right?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's told me. I'm also sure that my memory is about as useful as like a Macintosh Apple II at this point from the 80s. All right, Kung Fu, thank you very much. Okay. Thank you for the fist bumps, Sakan. It's great to hear that my form doesn't look like trash. That looks pretty good. All right. Everybody out there that wants to get better at their kickboxing, this is one of my favorite exercises in the whole morning routine. This is probably the exercise that started it. And again, I got this concept from Silver Glove coach Greg Janata of the United States Savate Federation. He's also a longtime member of the Diggerberg Academy. Good teacher, good guy. Set your timer for 30-second rounds. You can go longer if you want, but 30 seconds is good for now. And you're going to work each leg, holding it out for those 30 seconds. While also just kind of unconsciously training it to just be there, holding your form, and just kind of bouncing a little loosely as if you're moving through a very light combative situation. Or as Greg likes to do, he likes to just do it while brushing his teeth. But see, this leg, I'm not even thinking about it, it's just up. Everything else is what I'm focusing on. So everything from here on out, it's just turn on that protocol. The rest of this is what I need to focus on. You know, I can throw punches, I can keep my guard up, I can brush my teeth, whatever works. But nice and loose. I like to kind of just stretch it out. I give myself those 15-second breaks. Just try and keep warming everything up. And then when the buzzer comes in, I start prepping for the other side. Boom. And again, I'm not raising it too high. I'm trying to keep it at the hip socket. And I'm trying to squeeze the glutes to hold that posterior chain in support. My pasta chain, okay? Pasta chain, does whatever a pasta chain. Don't give me those looks.
I will give you those looks.
It's just because you're jealous of my pasta chain.
Yes, you're right. You got me.
All right, cool. For me personally, you can do those exact holds for each round if you want. For me personally, I'm building up my chasse lateral hold. So for me, I need to bring that knee across my chest and try and bring this foot up as flat as I can. And I want to crunch so that my upper body is still upright, because I don't want to lean back. We're not going for old school Savate here. We're trying to stay up and active. But yeah, this is my Savate conditioning 101 basically. And this has gotten so much better in just like the week or two that I've been adding the lateral to my cycle. Awesome, okay. Almost there, almost there. Have you been to Dama? She must be talking to somebody else. All right. This side is the tougher side for me. My hip flexor is like permanently less flexible. But as long as I focus on squeezing, activating, and presenting, then it's going to get stronger. If I just be like, this sucks. Well, yeah, it sucks. But I squeeze and I activate and I present. All right. Last hold, I'm going to go for my long leg fouette at full extension. So, you need to train the kicks at extension for good reason. If I don't train holding it out here, I'm always going to be holding it at the chamber, which is great for the release. But if I want to do doubles, I need to hold it out here so that I can re-chamber and re-release. So I need to hold it out there at least a little bit during my training so I can practice my doubling. And then again, if I can squeeze and raise it from there, now I'm activating my back muscles even more and my core and my obliques. All right. Other side, and then we're done with our Savate holds. Shake it out. Shake it out. Just dance it out a bit. And here we go. Here we go. With the pasta. Pasta chain. Okay. There we are. Oh, I'm feeling that one now.
Where are you feeling it?
Everywhere. Glutes, hamstring, back, arms. This side sucks. And that's it. Congratulations. If you're following along, you just went through my 4.5-ish minutes of Savate leg holds. Salute. Okay. My screen is freezing, so I can't even see the video. I'm gonna wrap up. Going into stretch set. I'm actually gonna bring the set back forward a little bit. Excuse me while I sit in this awkward position for no good reason, although I'm laying my legs stretched out. And please, after the Savate leg holds, do whatever you need to do to stretch your legs out. You can follow along with me, but you can also just focus on what works best for you. Learn your body, know your body, use it, and keep it healthy.
Question from Caitlin.
All right.
Any tips to help you remember not to lock your knee on the supporting leg during Savates?
Actually, that's a great question. Because you do not have to worry about locking your knee. What I would do is I would make that kind of like a trigger to know to just bend it again. But I'll stand back and just show this for a second before we go into our stretch set. The higher level kicks, the ones that come out the higher heights, the medians and the figures, you do lock out so that you can post up. But the lower kicks, the bas, the ones where you kick the legs, you break it down so that you're dropping the weight in. And actually what's happening is because you're bending the knee, when it's posted, my glutes, my butt, my whole side body are above the leg. But when I bend it down, I'm actually dropping my weight forward a little bit. So I'm dropping more weight into it. and then I'm posting up. So for you, I wouldn't tell you to start avoiding posting as if it's a bad thing. I would say incorporate it into almost like a pistol squat styled exercise so that you're going up and down. Get more used to knowing that you're posting and utilize it to know when you're supposed to fire that higher kick. And then break down, go into that drop spring sort of position, the lowered position, and fire a kick. And just start learning, you know, boom, 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 boom. So one major difference, you know, Savate is going to teach you from the get-go to lower yourself for your lower kicks. And Savate kicks the leg a lot. If you're in like a Taekwondo school, they just want you to kind of like keep it up here, which is great. But Savate makes you learn that the low kick is for a low position and that the high kick is for a high position. So it changes your perspective on it because you're loading the kick from a specific height, which is different muscle recruitments. I'm not saying Taekwondo is worse. The dexterity with the feet there is great. Being able to do that is great too, and you should achieve that level of it with Savate anyways, just to say that you can. But the fouette bas, the low kicks, are fired from that bent knee position. This is a long answer for that, but my point is really just learn how to break it down systematically so that you recognize what it is and what it's for, and then start training into that, rather than just going, well, I'm posting and that's wrong. No such thing. There's no such thing as doing it wrong unless it's hurting you. And then you just need to figure out how to do it better or right. Okay. Good question, though. Oh, wow, you know what Diggerberg is? Yeah, no, Greg, I'm pretty sure teaches at Diggerberg. Are you in Chicago, Isha? Okay. Leg stretch. 30-second rounds. You do you, I'm gonna do me. Let's just do ourselves. Abra's confused. I can see why you're confused, Abra.
I mean...
You think I'm always just trying to do other people. Really, most of the time I need to focus on doing myself. Like, I really need to... me needs to do me much more than me needs to do you or anyone else. Wow, okay, Isha, we should talk then. See if you know anybody from there. One of my prime Savate mentors is Mike Illick. And then I've gone to Chicago to train with Roger Lurie, Mike, and Greg multiple times, to the point where I've now got my white glove. And they host those at Kensho Martial Arts, those Savate workshops. And yeah, I like Chicago. Can't go there right now, of course, but you know, someday I'll go again when this whole thing blows over. So anyways, back to our question of the day and our answers. What's driving you nuts? Do you need to vent? I'm certainly feeling a lot better after my workout, as always. Funny how that works. It's like breaking a sweat gets rid of the poison.
Endorphins are a thing.
What kind of twin swords are there in the center of the wall? Oh, in the center? Those are two Filipino swords. Sakan would probably know which ones they are better than me, but I'm assuming they're bolos. They're just aluminum trainers. They are not meant to hit each other. They are just meant for flashy demo work. We have a plastic pair of them on the side that we can hit. Abra and I have used those for demos and for workshops and for choreography. But yeah, those things, the one-handed Filipino swords, basically different variations on machetes, those are great. Vent if you need to, and if you feel comfortable, don't feel pressured. We're not here to like, expose your deepest, darkest fears and secrets to us so that we may sell you something. Yes. It's just got to like a whole other level of creepy. This is a weird episode today. This is like Dylan like letting it all hang out episode.
Yes.
Yes, what? Got the sweat on my nose. The sweat.
I know that feel.
Well, maybe if you worked out harder, Abra, you'd feel it.
I literally just said I know that feel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm interpreting what you're saying completely the wrong way, as always.
Is that right?
With my big legs and karate, I can do the splits. No problem. Yeah, so Sakan's agreeing. Bolo would be his guess, too. The one in the sheath with the black handle and the wooden sheath, that is the only real sword that I own. A real one. I own some steel stage combat swords, but that one, that is a Sansabar. And a Sansabar is a very light, whippy sort of blade. It looks very much like an elfish blade from like Lord of the Rings. And it's great for dueling. And supposedly it was used by like boat people. I don't know exactly what for. No, not like people made of boats, Abra. Not
terminology boat people.
like people that worked on boats.
Like sailors?
You can actually look up what the Sansabar was used for, and you know there's very different reasons as to why it might be called the Sansabar, and I don't remember them. But like some people are like, well, it's named for Zanzibar, and I'm like, sure. But I got that one in the Philippines the first time I went. Everybody say your sound. The first time I went to the Philippines with Grandmaster Felix Cortez and Abra and I, we went for the Russian house camp in the Philippines with Alexander Pisark in 2018.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm outside this hotel and this guy is selling swords to all the tourists. And he comes up to me and he shows me this thing. And I'm like, this is very nice. Aside from the oddly phallic shape of the end of the sheath. But, you know, this is very nice. And he's like, I'll give it to you for $150. And I was like, I mean, I did want to buy a sword while I was here. And, you know, I almost never would. Sheath is kind of stuck. There we go. You gotta be careful because it's actually sharp. And he lets me hold it, and it fits my hand almost perfectly, which is nice for me because I have a lot of misgivings about my hands. I feel like I got those tiny Burger King man hands. And, you know, I'm like, this is totally up my alley. How, like, light and whippy it is. It would totally work with, like, my Savate Leg Holds sort of style. And then I'm like, it's like $150. You know, it's sprung steel or whatever. Ox head handle. Oh man, it's nice, but it's $150. And he's like, tell you what, you take it home and you Western Union me the money when you get back to America. And I was just like, who does that? Okay, deal. You're gonna let me have this sword basically for free for like the next 3 weeks? Sure.
Very trusting.
Very trusting. And I did eventually get to a Western Union in Brooklyn and send him the money. So, vent sesh. Nobody's got anything to say? Good. Well, maybe everybody's just feeling really freaking good today, especially after that workout. Yeah! Now that we're pushing ourselves to like 1/10 of an Abra level.
Yeah.
40 push-ups, everybody. That's a lot of push-ups.
Both are good, okay? Both types are good. You need both.
That's an amazing story. Well, I'm glad you think so, Wendy. It certainly is memorable to me. I wish I could get the sheath to really work, but if anything, that just makes me try and respect not drawing this thing all the time because it will split the sheath at some point. And I had a friend who's a prop maker in New York City try and fix it, and she was just like, nope, there's nothing I can really do. And I was like, okay. And I've totally cut myself with this thing. Josh, what's been bothering me is I have had a lot of trouble actually creating anything. I have a ton of ideas and I just can't get the motivation to do it. I mean, Josh, I totally get it. Like, especially if you're in the creative arts that are the physical arts. I'm very lucky. I have Abra to do fight scenes with. I have Brett to film us. You know, I have my computer. I can edit. I've got a lot of old footage. I would recommend, and I'm going to recommend to you at least, because you're a young creative. I was a young creative. So this is like one of the arenas where I can make recommendations. I can't really make recommendations and
global politics or epidemiology, but as a young creative, find some of your old footage or something like that and start just cutting together little music videos of yourself. There's no reason not to just make some fun highlight reels. Get better at editing, even if it's with a free program. You just went InShot on your phone. And don't have any shame about what level of skill you were at. If you want to, make it look like this is a progression reel, something like that. A lot of people that do the kind of cool athletic movements that you're capable of put progression highlight reels together. And it might not sound the most creative at first, but you're going to get your reps in practicing some basic editing. And if you do it to music, practicing that rhythm. And as a creative, especially in the world that we're in right now, you've got to be filming and editing your content. You can't do a lot of other types of performance art unless you're going to perform to the neighborhood, in which case that would be really cool. Just go out to your front yard and start singing sonnets and stuff. But if you have an idea about something that you want to be creative with and you're having like a roadblock, please message me, dude. Like, I'm here to help you figure out how to be as creative as you can be right now. That is one of my skill sets. I would love to help push you to create some art. If you need that kind of mentorship or support, I'm totally here for that. I have the brain of an insane producer. I'm totally down to just try and rip some of that up for you and help you figure it out and get it out into the world. Let's see here. Abra is annoyed with coffee.
What?
What? Oh no, I just read that wrong. What are you drinking? Coffee or tea? Coffee. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth. I actually really, really love what you just said. Sometimes I wonder to myself if people are actually wanting to go back to work or if they're anxious to get back to shopping around. I don't even know if the world, like, the reason why I love that is because it's like, how many of us are okay with sitting at home and playing Final Fantasy VII while waiting for stimulus checks? If I didn't have this show, I know what I'd be doing right now. So I'm wondering if people are just getting so anxious that this is going to become the new normal and they're not going to want to change back. I think the world's going to have a shift in its mentality about this isolation if it keeps going over the next couple of weeks. Some people are going to be like bursting out of the homes and just saying, screw the regulations, I need to get out of here. And some people are going to be like, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, okay. They're all going to chat it up. FF7 or FF7 Remake, Sakan? Because, like, if you like one but don't like the other, I understand. And if you hate both, you're breaking my heart. Let's see. Too emo. Oh, it's not like it's FF8. Which is, like, literally emo. I'm pretty emo, though. Like, I love the fact that Advent Children has a Gerard Way song as one of its theme songs, so... That's okay, though. You do you, I do me. We'll do ourselves instead of each other, okay? As he raises his sword. Well, folks, like I said, I'm probably going to edit a good 20 minutes of that out of the YouTube video that's going to be shown. But you'll always be able to find this really awkward and embarrassing chat of mine on the Facebook page because we keep that one up for everybody to see and read whenever.
All right.
Okay, so anyways, here's the edit point. Not ending it. Don't press that button.
I didn't.
I'm ending it. I gotta wrap up. Here's the ending point. Here's for me to edit. So, we've had a great session. We got through those mid-morning tremors, trying to get our stuff back together, got our heads together. We had a lot of fun. We did some Kung Fu. If you like what you see here, be sure to find us on our YouTube channel. We want you to go to our YouTube channel. If you check out our YouTube channel and you click subscribe and you ring that bell for the notifications, every morning routine that's done gets posted later in the day. Every workout that Abra does gets edited and thrown up there within the next couple of days. Every skill development session, except for number 10 right now, is available for you. That's almost 10 hours worth of training content from the Saga Action Arts curriculum on our YouTube channel. Watch those videos, like them, subscribe, share them, let other people know that you're having fun with us. We'd love for you to join our community and invite others to join it as well.
Where is everything?
On our YouTube channel.
Oh.
And finally, if you are interested in joining us on Facebook Live, we have these shows 9 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Morning routine is going for at least another 4 days. Abra's workouts are going indefinitely until we say they're not. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And now, instead of our skill development sessions, we have shorter 30-minute long action arts classes where Abra and I create some choreography in front of you, break it down, and teach you some of the basic moves, and turn it into a little bit of a workout so that you can have a lot of fun in a short amount of time and learn how to present your best heroic self when you're on stage or camera, or if you just want to do some cool martial arts style moves. And that's it. That's what we're up to. Send us some photo or video of you doing your thing. We want to share it with the rest of the world. Tag the Saga community. Hashtag the Saga community. Make sure you put the there. Otherwise, it's going to go to a different group of people, which is totally fine. But we want people to be able to search internally to our group who we are and what we're doing. And really just spread that we're here to have fun. We're here to feel better about ourselves with all this going on. And we're here to grow into our best heroic shape. And that's whatever shape is best for you. That's not by anybody else's definitions.
If you want to be a rectangle, that is your call.
It could be a rectangle.
Yes.
It could be a triangle. It could be a circle. It could be a pentagon. It could be the octagon with Chuck Norris. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you all for joining us and for staying a little bit late as we chatted and had some great coffee talk. We will see you tonight at 7 p.m. for the Action Arts class, and we will see you tomorrow morning again for morning routine at 9 a.m. It's been great. Day 35. We're almost done. Let's finish strong, and I will see you tomorrow morning.